How could an average person become a millionaire? So we're going to break this down into a couple categories. So the obvious one, which made me a millionaire first, was real estate. So what's interesting about our content in the world right now, it's still actually kind of twofold, maybe three, which is the stock market, real estate, and cryptocurrencies. That's kind of what's being marketed as your choices. I want to introduce you to a lot of other alternative options. And honestly, there are some better options for your tax strategy. The second thing we're going to talk about is how do you leverage being a business owner where you actually own a company, a legal intent to make money, use that company to absolutely activate 81,000 pages of tax code. I call it living corporate life, where you own the company and you activate the greatest tax code against all that great income. You invest differently, as I said on point one. Now you have the trifecta of a 3 to 5 year millionaire. And then the last thing I want to talk about is just smart lending, debt, crowdfunding, those situations, and how can they actually amplify what you're doing. Arbitraging debt is one of the fastest strategies that I use to help you become a millionaire. But I'll get to the arbitraging debt at the end of the video. I want to start the video with statistics of what you're going to read online. If you actually look up a broader search on this same topic of how long does it take an average person to become a millionaire, here's what you're being taught, and it's completely wrong. So you all have heard this one. Right, so statistically becoming a millionaire involves a combination of financial habits, strategic investing, long-term planning. I would agree with all that except for the long-term in our version is 3 to 5 years because of the Millionaire Maker work. Now, here's what some people say to become an average millionaire, and still statistically, no one really tells you how fast you can become one. It's just interesting. Ways are start saving early, right? Putting your money away. So that's great. The benefit of that obviously is compounding power. So my kids book, the Make Your Kids Millionaires book, which is in the link below. So make sure you grab the Make Your Kids Millionaires book if you don't have it. It gives you all the checklists, what to do at what age, 0 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 11, et cetera, et cetera. The starting earlier, the simplest way to make your kids millionaires, let's just get this one out of the way. I'll give you a little $1 trillion tip right in the beginning here, is you employ your kids, you get them a Roth IRA, and you maximize it every year for 20 years. You compound the power of that, just that one move, by maximizing your kids' Roth, which is $7,000 a year now. You say, well, how do I put $7,000 away? Well, it's a little more than $5,000 a month. So figure out how to make more money and put all that money into a kid's Roth and compound it. And also in the description below, I'll give you a software that a lot of us use. I'd say 90% of my clients use iFlip. It's a software where you can actually pick folios and it takes you in and out of the market. So it shorts you out of the market. We're on a huge, huge growth trajectory. We are killing Robinhood in our reviews as well as our returns because we're not leaving it up to you. We're leaving it up to an AI-driven software that is brilliant. So the earlier you get your kids involved, the better, right? So that's kind of a little of what you're going to hear and a little how I'd fix it. Here's the other ridiculous statistics and just things you're going to hear. Live below your means. So that would never be my conversation. So what live below your means is consistently spending less than you earn. Well, that's obvious, but how true is it? Most of you, especially with inflation and the rising costs and the taxes that are continuing to be hitting you, most of you are barely living at your means. So what's the answer? Make more money, make new money. So with that, I want to invite you, make sure you grab our 2 tickets. If you've been to a Millionaire Intensive, you are welcome to always come back. We do them once a month. IntegratedWealthSystems.com also is in the description below. So go to my link, look at my event page, and make your calendar mirror my calendar. I want all my events on your calendar so you start showing up and making this serious about understanding money. So many people come and they want a result. But you get the result because of the knowledge that you also have to put into yourself, which means you got to read the 5 books. You can read them, you can listen to them, however you want to consume them, but you got to consume the content, other you're going to get this kind of crap that confuses you. So I want you to grow your means. You say, well, how do I do that? You make new money as an entrepreneur. Other interesting, invest regularly. So the old-fashioned folks are going to tell you, put a little bit away a month, put 200 away, 500 a month, 1,000 away. I want you to make so much money, you're putting 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 away a month. Maximize your tax advantage accounts. Maybe, maybe not, depending on where you are. If your job offers 401k, our team, our experts need to review it because some of your 401ks are great. Like I worked at Chevron for a minute. It was great. That was a great one. But there's some that I see, it's like, why don't you just pull it back out take it home yourself and go buy some real estate. It's a better deal than with some of those qualified plans. And the problem with some of these qualified plans that a lot of you don't consider is you pay tax at the end. So God knows what that tax rate's going to be. So why don't you control it from the beginning? Avoid high interest debt. Now, although I agree with it, that's not how you become a millionaire, by avoiding high interest debt. The way you become a millionaire with debt is you actually arbitrage debt. Again, my glue I'm going to put together at the end of this call is how to do that. How do you arbitrage debt and use that as a strategy, especially when you aren't making enough money yet? Increase your income, obviously, right? And so they're saying increase your income by saying go get a raise at a job. I'm saying increase your income by getting another hustle, a side hustle, a real estate play. Do something else to bring in additional income. Reinvest your earnings. Of course, that's the standard regular. If you're not doing it, you always reinvest your earnings. So that's where your compounding power comes in. And then stay the course. I would agree with stay the course. But a lot of this is just really old-fashioned stuff. So how do you do it our way? How do you do it the Millionaire Maker way? How do you become a millionaire? And I'm not going to say an average millionaire, a 3 to 5 year millionaire, right? So put yourself into a very different frame of mind. Say, you can do it in 20 years, but why? Let's just go get it over with and become a millionaire. Because guess what? When I get you on that path of living a millionaire life, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million become your new goals, not just becoming a millionaire. And some of you are sitting out there saying, yeah, but it's okay. It's okay if I'm owing 100,000 there. Right, but don't overpay taxes on it all. You don't have to legally. So the way we make you a 3 to 5 year millionaire is look at your investing strategies. So real estate is clearly one, right? So I became a real estate millionaire in 1999. Still am, never came off course. You're changing the strategies up a lot. Vacation rentals, short-term rentals. Obviously, if you haven't heard about them, they are way more lucrative than just one, like a year long-term tenant. You can do lease to own. There are so many ways that you can actually use real estate in your strategy to become a millionaire. Using iFlip, which again is the software that's in the description, go open an account. You can open an account for free and put your money into iFlip. So at least while you're learning other alternatives. So the book on alternative investing that I wrote is it's called Wealth Cycle Investing. So it's part of the Millionaire Maker series. It looks very similar to this, but it's wealth cycle investing. And it goes through due diligence, how to do risk assessment, but also invites you to look at aviation, gas and oil, mineral rights, water rights. Like what else can you invest in? RV parks, storage. Like there are so many things. And then to number two, and the topic number two is own a business. How could you use business ownership or franchises? We've just helped 3 different clients open and select a franchise. Some are in vending, some are in teaching, like the tutor doctor. Some are in hauling, not 1-800-GOT-JUNK, other kind of spin-offs of what that is. So owning a franchise can cash flow. Now, if you don't understand how to own and really build a team, then you're going to be on the front line. Like I have some folks who actually helped me teach the whole franchising as an expert, and he owns a lot of Subways. And we've owned other franchises together. And I can tell you there are days where he's had to come in where the staff didn't show up, and it's been worse since COVID. So be careful and mindful as you decide and have some due diligence through deciding what kind of business you want to either buy, franchise, or someone else's business. And we can help you buy those kind of companies. We can help you with the M&A of it, the research, the accounting, or just start your own company. I love bootstrapping. I love starting companies. All of our descriptions, we have some different options and direct sales companies. I love them. I'm in several of them because they're products I already use. So why not get paid back for them? So again, what do you want to do to make more money so you can invest more money? The trifecta of a fast 3 to 5 year millionaire is making more money, investing it in a more aggressive plays, right? Which means you better understand your due diligence, and then minimizing your tax. Because if you can actually put back into your pocket 10, 20, 30,000 a year, if not more in taxes, right there, you're off to the races in compounding power of money. So before I talk about lending, debt, and crowdfunding, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click that notification button. I need you here 5 days a week. Share this with at least 5 or 10 friends. If you really want to binge watch, there's a link to actually track the binging, which means you get 25 hours of binge watching. You say, well, what am I going to binge? You're going to go to the topic and anything I say millionaire, anything corporate life, anything trust life, generational wealth. You're going to consume all those videos. 25 hours will get you a $750 credit towards a new tuition of whatever you want to learn with my team and my experts. And let's make this real. I love making 3 to 5 year millionaires, but you got to lean in and get a lot of new knowledge and behaviors. The last thing is crowdfunding, which I love. I do not like traditional crowdfunding. I like equity crowdfunding, which there's some really great stuff. Again, Don't assume like Start Engine and a lot of those equity funding, crowdfunding platforms are just already magically done and due diligence is done for you. Inside of it, there's a lot of different processes and a lot of different programs you can invest in. You need to be careful and learn how to do due diligence. How can you use lending? How can you use debt and arbitrage it? So for example, just so you understand what arbitrage is, if you could be $100,000 in debt and it didn't cost you anything, say it was 0% for say 20 months, that's free money. So what can you do with 100 grand to make more money out of it? Well, if you can find something for 12, 13, 15, 18%, let's just say 15%, because that's a standard kind of around the S&P. 100,000 gets you 15,000, you're printing money. So yes, your $100,000 in good debt leveraged into, say, an iFlip account or some sort of other account that can make that kind of return. Yeah, you owe 100,000, but it's not costing you anything. The debt is free, where you're making 15% on it or 12% on it, whatever you can find. And we would love to coach you on any of this. If you have questions at any time, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL. We'll be back tomorrow with more content.